So I share with you guys a little secret. A lot of the times when I make my videos, I don't know what they're gonna be about. They're kind of just about like a thought that was in my mind, you know, and then I just want to talk to you guys and share it with you, you know. In music, it's called improv, right? The really great jazz players will be able to see the thing about really great jazz players, they sound really horrible to people who don't have music ears, you know. But you're like see, I'm not even trained technically. I just study so much music theory on my own that I kind of learned, you know. Don't get me wrong, if I was to be given a college course level music theory class, I think I'd probably score a C. But I think that's pretty good for somebody who doesn't study music theory at a college, even community college. When I studied music theory at community college, because community college was like, oh, you got your G. No, you don't put that down, man. They were teaching me things that were so deep, you know. I felt like I had, in terms of, let's just say my community college was maybe 1% better than my 4-year university, you know. And that just says how much my community college was good. And I'm not gonna say who they are, because they're gonna, I don't know, you know. It's just complicated. They just say sometimes the price doesn't reflect the quality, you know, either direction. But man, it's crazy. I just seen this is my second ambulance that I seen tonight. So hopefully everybody's safe, you know. So yeah, it's one of my little secrets, you know. A lot of the times when I talk, it's just like I'm a musician, you know. So I use music as one of my ways to explain things. Because if I was a basketball player, I'd probably be using basketball analogies, you know. If I was into nails, I'd probably be, I don't know, that's any different. And I'll just stick to divine male energy, right? Because divine feminine is something hard that I'll need someone here to explain it, you know. That's divine in that way, either trans or I don't know. I digress though. It's one of those subjects that that's like I'm walking a fine line, you know. I don't want to fall on the right or on the left. I just want to be in the middle, you know. I think the Buddha talked about that, the middle way, right? I think the Buddha was cool because he was he went to the forest and he like starved himself, right? And he's like, what do you call it when you like deprive yourself of food and everything pleasurable? He like literally became like a skeleton, you know. It's like a big fancy word, but I just gave you the watered down version of it. But yeah, they just say he deprived himself of desires or joy or anything, you know, and he became like a skeleton. And he said, no, that didn't find enlightenment that way either, you guys. You don't have to like take a vow of poverty, you know. And it's okay, this life, there's good to have a little bit of, you know, like salt, right? It's like salt, like just a little bit makes your food taste better, but too much can kill you over a long period of time, you know. It's like just like trust, right? Too much trust is a bad thing, you know. There's one of my favorite developmentalists. His name is what's his name? It's not Erik Erikson. It's is it Erik Erikson? I think it might be Erik Erikson. I have to go. Well, I'll put the name in the description. But one of my favorite developmentalists, his name is well, I'll just talk about his theory, and then maybe the name will come to me. So the theory is trust versus mistrust. I think it might be Erik Erikson, but I have to, because he spelled his last name weird. There's like a school, Erik Erikson School in Chicago. I was thinking about going, but maybe who knows in the future, right? But this one, the first stage of this developmentalist is trust versus mistrust. So of course, you know, you want your baby to trust, you know, your community and you, and have faith in the world and in God, you know. But you have to understand, this world is far from perfect, and a little bit of mistrust, just a little bit, you know, not that much, you know. Because if you're too mistrustful, you're just going to be cold, or you're not going to enjoy this world, right? Because there is a lot of warmth. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just making this channel to just share what I know, because I feel like, I have these thoughts anyways, alone. So at least this way, I kind of like, in a weird kind of way, I'm kind of like communing with you guys. It's kind of weird. I wish you guys were here, but it's not the world we live in. Yeah. But you know what I hate about living in LA? There's no stars, man. Only 1, 2, 2 fucking stars. What kind of shit's that, man? I went to this place. I lived in Durban for a little bit, in KwaZulu Natal. Kwa means going to, and Zulu means the name of the nation. So going to Zulu. Natal means, I think it's a river there. There's a Portuguese explorer in the 1500s. He was in Africa exploring. And I remember hearing a story over there, how I think it was a Zulu king. He saw the European. He was like, and then his chief was like, King, should we be worried about them? And the king saw the Europeans. I think they were Portuguese, because Natal is Portuguese. And then and it's cool because this is what I heard in South Africa, so I get to share it with you, And maybe for people my friends who live in South Africa, maybe they could like help me. I have a friend who's a storyteller, and he taught me how to tell stories. There was a story he told. I think in Zulu, there was a story about a lady, a snake, that ate her children. Right? Her name is Inanna. I think Inanna means E means I don't speak Zulu. I just know very little. I think Nana means mother. So it's Inanna Buen. So Inanna, mother, and then mother god or something. I don't know. I gotta ask my friend. My Zulu etymology is not that good, but I just thought there was a lot of I don't know. Maybe I hope these are one of these stories. Sometimes I felt like there's you have to understand, the horrors of the past are very traumatizing, Look, in the Americas exists 23andMe. Come on, if you go to India, you think 23andMe is going to exist in India? No, people have been living in the same fucking valley for thousands of years. But if you look at America, look, there's literally a enterprise called 23andMe, That's how much, look at me, look, I have curly hair. My parents, I have family that came from the Middle East, right? That made it with people who were indigenous to Central America. What the fuck? I got a beard, man. Like, people dated people from like Central America are like brown. They look Indian, man. That's why Christopher Columbus called us Indians, brown. But maybe we're not. See, look. So from India, they're hairy though. They're gonna have my beard a little bit, even bigger. My beard is compared to them. But right now it's looking kind of good, a little bit like theirs, but theirs is like even more. Cause my lip doesn't connect. I wish it went like that. But yeah, See, that's the thing about having ADHD. I have so many stories I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you about the Inanna Abuela. I think Inanna something, mother goddess or mother something, mother god, But I thought that's an interesting thing because that's the name of the serpent. And this serpent was a serpent that lived around the forest. And isn't it interesting? Like they named their one of the most powerful. See, this is just my theory. Maybe I don't know that much about Zulu. They told me this story, So when they told me this story, I was like, oh shit! My brain was just connecting dots, And see, even within their society, they have people to initiate into this knowledge, So I want to be very respectful. I don't know if this was told to me, like in privacy. I don't remember anymore. I really don't, But I guess I'll summarize it now, because who knows? I got it. Or maybe it's like, come on, you idiot. That's like the Itsy Bitsy Spider, but the Zulu version. I'm such a dumb. Because I don't know, man. I'm not from these societies, I'm not like, Okay, I'll give you an example. When I lived in South Africa, they call me, hey, Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero, right? Because I didn't really have this big beard until recently. His name was Erik Erikson, That's one of the media exports that was worldwide, right? Look, everybody knows who Justin Bieber is. I met a girl She lived in somewhere in remote India, maybe not North India. Maybe there wasn't 25 million people, their religion. But yeah, man, this girl was like, yeah, you heard of Justin Bieber? Like, fuck, you know Justin Bieber? Have you heard of Antonio Aguilar? You know, probably not, because I'm Mexican, you know. Have you heard of the grupo Casabe Agrupación? Because they're from Honduras, you know, that's the music I grew up with, you know. And the Zulu people were like, hey, they're playing all this like rock music, you know. And don't get me wrong, I've learned to really love rock music. You know, I like Pink Floyd and who else? You know, classic rock, you know, 80s dad rock, you know. But I don't know if I'm naming the right genre. Maybe 70, 80, 90, around there. But yeah, that music. Well, because they'll be my dads. See, now my dads are becoming the grandfathers of this generation. So I'm 31. That's kind of crazy to see that, you know. Damn it, now I have another thing to talk about. I have like a couple things going on, guys. I'm gonna try to tackle everyone. I talked about my delivery. It's a lot really based on improv. And then I talked about what else? Oh man, I don't know. I think this story was told to me in a way where it didn't feel like it was meant to be kept hidden. Because, you know, there are things in this world that you shouldn't tell everybody, you know? And I guess when you guard these little secrets, and there's a macro and micro version to these, you know? I have a friend, Vinnie Curto. I got to put his book, link his book. He was a boxer, right? And for me, I learned a lot from him because I wasn't really, how can I say it? Vinnie Curto was trained by Muhammad Ali, right? How many people are trained by Muhammad Ali? Very few in this world. So I think I've been very privileged that he gave me free boxing lessons, you know? I wasn't even looking for the, you know, I don't even like, no, I like boxing now. Look at my main sport is basketball, right? I know like right now, the NBA playoffs, the Lakers lost in the bubble. You know, little things like if you don't watch NBA, it's like, what is he talking about? What's a Laker? Is that like a lake or something? They came from Minneapolis, right? There's a lot of lakes in Minnesota. There's no lakes in LA, so the original jersey was blue, just like the water. And I think the yellow is probably like the rays of the sun, you know? It's a really pretty jersey. Okay, I digress. Yeah. So, I think we get confused a lot, you know? You're right now. So 2012 was in the Mayan long count. The Mayans believed in cycles, right? I know I could tell you this because this is on YouTube. But they believed in cycles, a long count. So 2012 represented a shift, right? And it is correct. But the thing that people didn't put together is that shifts happen gradually. They don't happen boom. You know, we don't see the gradualness of, you know, I think in astrology, there's like the great cycle, right? Where like right now we're transitioning into the age of Aquarius. We were previously I don't know, you gotta look that shit up. Age of Aquarius. That rock song. That's a good rock song. Age of Aquarius. And I gotta put that in the description, right? And you know what? I feel like I'm like a book, but I'm talking to you, right? So in any book, you have a glossary, you have like your references, and people go like look up just to see if you're bullshitting, you know? But I think that's always important to quote your sources. But sometimes your sources are very like, where'd you get that information from? Well, I got it from God. Oh, you're crazy. Oh my God, maybe I am. I wish, I don't know, maybe this world's a little crazy. I'm a little sane, you know? Who knows, man? I think this world's, I have a lot of strong opinions, you know? I remember looking at an airplane recently and I was like thinking to myself, that's like a 100,000 pound vehicle traveling at the force of 40,000 miles per hour, you know? And people look at it with like, it's like nothing. It's like a fucking bug, you know? And then like little kids in my school, like I love it whenever they see airplanes, they get all crazy, like, what the fuck is that? you know, I really love their human reaction, So I'm thinking the same thing. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm 31, so I don't look at it like that anymore. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Such a dumbass. Oh, man. But like, I don't know, man. Ignorance is bliss, right? Well, like, what did it say? It's more safer flying on an airplane than a car accident. But you know what? Car accidents are pretty violent, too. Maybe what the fuck are we doing with that? Cut down vast forest lands in a land that's, you could, like, I don't know. This is humanity, man. Sometimes I'm with a kid, like, what the fuck? Their eyes of amazement, like, I think that's what Jesus said, you gotta be like a child, because children, and you don't be a smart ass, just listen, I mean, like, be like a child. See, that's only half. The other half will be like, you're totally right. Be like a child. See, I don't know what half you fall into. But yeah, you just gotta, that, when I see, it's like this, when I'm at the park, I see age groups, right? And I notice particular patterns. Children are coming down their bicycles with masks, and they're having they're not having it because they're scared of corona. They're having it because they view it as a costume, and they're having fun, and they're fucking like, they're enjoying life. And then I'll go up, and the older you become, the less young you become, the more material the more the more the fascination will manifests itself, and what can I tell you guys? It's just I think where should I go with this? This is the thing about improvising. Like, listen to a song. It's called Giant Steps by John Coltrane. Vox did an amazing presentation of John Coltrane. A presentation that rivals, that could be used very well in like music, Berkeley's music theory, right, of school. Music theory. Berkeley is one of the like prestigious, or maybe one of that music school in New York, right? Like, those are very talented musicians, Yeah, Vox, V-O-X, Vox or Vox? I think it's Vox. I don't know how. English is just a weird language, not spelled phonetically. Where, like, it's V-O-X, and so you phonetically you pronounce it Vox, Vox. But sometimes English, the O, it makes that Vox, like Fox. It's not spelled. It's spelled F-O-X. But that's not Fox. Fox. Maybe that's like, they have an American accent. Maybe in England they go Fox. Look at the Fox. Oh, water. See, I can't do that. Water. When I lived in Northern Ireland, they were like, water. That was their American impersonation. Like, they went straight to the water. I don't know. It's a funny R. I took a linguistics class. I wanted to be a linguistics major, but my ADHD nature drove me all over the place. You had a lot of fun, but damn it, 18 minutes and 47 seconds, and all right, I gotta try to say everything. I'll do 22 minutes, cause I gotta cut it short, man. I was having too much fun, but yeah. So I was at the park. Okay, I'll give you an example, man. The kids that were like 17, 18 years old, they were smoking weed. And I was laughing at them. They kind of look like me, man, but without the beard. They just had the long, curly hair. Like, that could be my son right there, man. It really could be my son. If I had a kid at 14, that could be my 16-year-old son. They were just smoking weed, man. I was laughing at them. I'm like, oh, stupid kids. I was getting even darker, but I'm not. But, oh, man, that kid, he just reminded me of my past, those summer nights, It's summer right now, so I'm telling you from a summer perspective. And since it's Corona, there's a lot more people at the park. It felt like a Sunday. It felt like Easter Sunday. I was like, what the fuck? This is LA? I've been that guy to try to do everything possible not to work. And not be homeless either. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be homeless. I think that's a horrible... that's too much austerity, Maybe not austerity. I don't know if that's the right word, but the middle path. 22 minutes. Maybe I just, yeah, after 25. I hope I don't have to do a part 2 because this Google thing. I thought it was gonna give me hours of like sometimes I be talking for like hours and this thing just breaks it down. I had a couple of like 3-hour talks, and then when I go back and look at it, it broke it down into 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, you stupid piece. False advertisement. Or maybe I'm just that outlier. Nobody ever uses that much time. You fucking piece of shit. I'm gonna be that dude. You were not supposed to do it. Everybody probably uses 5 minutes, but they're like, unlimited. All right, fuck it. Oh man, look at that. Another airplane, man. Corona. I wish I had a more see, if I had a phone, I would put a little screen on the back. Sometimes I'm like, see, that's the thing, like nobody's gonna do this. This is a very specific need to me. This is a mass market product. But now if I wanted to build a phone, I'll put a little, like right now, so I'm not looking